What's up guys, welcome to a brand new series here on the channel, and this is our first ever modded series. And again, we're taking it to the skies. This mod pack is called All the Mods 10 to the Skies. And for you guys that have not been around for this channel very long, we are into our sky blocks. So this is a brand new adventure with it being modded, and I'll be learning along with you guys at the same time. Again, I've only done play this a tiny bit, so I only know the beginning. And apparently, to get started, all we got to do is slash skyblock a GUI. So if we do slash skyblock GUI, so let's choose our template real quick. So we're going to go with Steve's staycation. So let's create this. Yep, there we go. And here we are in our little caravan. And out here we have our luxury, what we're going to call home. So if we go into our advancements, welcome to all the mods 10, now in the sky again. All mods 10 to the sky is a kitchen sink pack that allows you to explore a variety of different mods in your own way. If you have any other questions or issues, feel free to join the At the Moment Discord. At the moment, all the mods. Now, chapter 1 is where we're going to start out, and today's end goal is I just want to get up and running. You know, I want to get some sieves going. I want to get a stone generator. We're just going to go through a few of the achievements, and yeah, hopefully we can do that. So we're going to claim our first one, just so we can get that steak. Next, we need to punch trees. We need to get some grass. We need to get some sieves, some barrels, and so many other things. So let's get straight into it. So I believe if we break down this tree, so we have Feed the Beast Alt Mine, which is like a alternative of Vein Miner, and just like that, we have saplings back. Now, whilst they grow, I'm going to craft myself. Let's craft a crafting table. With this crafting table, let's just plop it right here. We're going to craft ourselves a crook. What this crook allows us to do is harvest leaves. And it's got a very small chance of giving us something called a silkworm. Now, for you guys that have seen Sky Factory in the previously... yeah, you guys will know the beginning of this process. Right now, let me craft myself a crafting table, throw it on a stick, and just like that, we got a crafting table on a stick. So now we have a portable crafting table, essentially. And let's get back, and there we go. We have ourselves what we was looking for. Now let's just punch down the rest of these trees, just like that. Now if we connect them up, if I can actually do that, we can break them all at once, which is going to give us the rest of the wood. Now, what we want to do is we want to grow these trees again. And let's lastly grow this one. That's 6 trees. And we're just going to slap that silkworm right there. Now, what this worm is going to do is you can see in the top middle, it's infesting the tree. So once it's infested this leaf, it will spread. And eventually all these leaves will be infected, which will give us our next resource. So whilst we're waiting for that to happen, we're going to craft ourselves some barrels. That took its precious time. So we can get ourselves a total of 2 barrels for now, which honestly is fine. So let's just whack them over here. Now in these barrels, we can place down saplings. So this is if you're not on an island on this, maybe you went with the default or the Sky Factory one. This is just like the Sky Factory mod pack. Throw your saplings into these barrels. It will then produce dirt. And like that, you've made yourself a piece of dirt. Now, currently, we don't need that. However, we're going to need something called a sieve. So to make a sieve, I believe this is the recipe. Yeah, and we're going to make 9 of these guys. So now we have 9. We can place them in like a 3x3 grid. which essentially what this is going to do, this is going to allow us to just place it in the middle, and it'll place in every single one if we've got enough blocks in order to do so. So we're starting off very strong right here, and it's becoming nighttime, as you can see. So with the rest of our wood, we're just going to make some chests just to get some simple storage going. Okay, so now we have our chests. We can empty our inventories quite a bit. We'll keep the torches on us, because why not? Apples we can get rid of. All these wood pieces, they're probably going to become handy in some time. So pretty much all these leaves are done now, apart from like the odd couple right here at the back. So if we take our crook and we just come to these leaves at the front, we can break it and we get string. Now string is very important. We broke our crook. So let's just harvest up all this string. There we go. Now string's important because string is how we make our mesh. And that is, should be 9 pieces of mesh right there. There we go. So with these 9 pieces of mesh, we can place them in our sieve. And now this is time for the fascinating part. So let's just dump all these in here. Again, let's just quickly harvest our trees. Nothing like a good old tree harvest. Now, our little camper van came with a it came with a bed, so we don't have to worry about turning string into wool. Not at the time being, anyways. So this next feature, it's got a lot to do with this grass below us. So if we shift and we right click, you can see it popped out a pebble, and we keep right clicking, it pops out many pebbles, and these pebbles can turn into different blocks. Now, if we just shift right click like this, we are producing a lot. So then what we can do is we can come over here, we can grab all this up, and there we go. We can then start converting all this. If we click K on it, it will just craft it in a 2x2. So it's quite handy. And now we have ourselves cobblestone. So we're going to quickly just craft ourselves some cobblestone tools. So that's a pickaxe. That's an axe. That's a shovel. Combine all of them together, we get ourselves a paxel, which is all tools in one. Now all these bits and pieces over here we can just get rid of because we don't need these. So another tool we do need, which is probably gonna become our best friend here very soon, is, if I can remember the recipe, the hammer. Right there. A stone hammer. Now the reason why this is going to become our best friend is because to get into sieving, to get all of our resources down the line, it all comes from cobblestone. And it all comes from hammering cobblestone into these different materials. So this turns into gravel. If we hammer it again, we get sand, which then hammers again and turns into dust. Now this is a perfect chance for it to rain. Perfect timing. So what we can do is we can grab ourselves some more barrels. Now the reason we actually need some more barrels is because this will collect water. So let's just make sure we have enough water to last us. So as you can see, they're all filling up with water. Once they're filled, that's essentially 1 bucket of water. So that's honestly beautiful. And what we're going to do is we're going to take all of this cobblestone. For now, we're just going to do these pieces right here. And now we have our dust. Hopefully some of these barrels are full. So with dust, if we take it in here, we can throw it in the water and the dust becomes clear. Now clear will be used later down the line in this episode to get ourselves some porcelain clear. So in order to do that, we actually need to sieve dust. So if we sieve this dust, we have a small % chance of getting ourselves bone meal. That bone meal can be combined with the clay to give us some porcelain clay. As you can see, it only gives us 1 piece. And for now, we need, I think it's 7 pieces. So it's honestly not too bad. We just need enough cobblestone and everything else to get us there to begin with. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to just be sifting through a lot of resources. Okay, so we managed to get ourselves a bit of cobblestone, and with all that, we're going to need ourselves some sticks. So this is a method that I quite like a lot, because what it allows us to do, that's not going to be enough. So if we make ourselves exactly 9 hammers, so let's just like that, we can throw all these hammers in here and get a compressed stone hammer. Now once it's compressed, we can compress our cobblestone to give us 1 times cobblestone. And what this does is when we compress our sweet cobblestone here, if I can actually place it, by compressing down our cobblestone, we can get compressed gravel. So essentially this is 9 full stacks of cobblestone right here. And now we have 9 full stacks of gravel, just like that. So it saves us a bunch of like time hammering down all these resources. And we can do that again all the way down to dust. So that's our sand. Now let me quickly repair this. We're also going to craft ourselves a furnace, just so we got it. So lastly, let's do our sand. Now the sand is where it gets tricky, because if you hammer compressed sand, now you can only hammer compressed blocks with a compressed hammer. But once we do this, it's going to basically pop out everything. And what I mean by this is it's no longer compressed. Compressed dust is not a thing. So it turns it all into, yep, you guessed it, dust. 9 stacks of it. So we're just going to make sure we got a few there. Now the reason I keep getting these clear is just so we can get some more porcelain clay if we need it. So the reason we've gone straight for dust instead of getting gravel to get ourselves some iron and gold and whatnot is by getting dust we can actually start on a stone generator. And that stone generator will practically generate the stone for us, saving us time just sitting here and right clicking the floor. So what we can do is hope for a lot of bone meal. So hopefully, there we go. We got 61. Way more than enough. And we've also got one in here. So we're going to take like 32. We'll just do half a stack for now. There we go. That's our porcelain clay. Now with our porcelain clay, we can come in here. We can craft ourselves the crucible and the 2 buckets. So this will melt it into a normal crucible, which is exactly what we need. And if we just place a torch right here, we can place the crucible on top of there, so it will actually melt down the cobblestone that we'll be placing in it. And that is essentially how you get lava. So that is melted. Now let's finally do our buckets. So if we come in here, place that down. Now let's take our cobblestone, and if we actually come up here, we can see it places the cobblestone, and in the top middle you can see it slowly is generating milli buckets of lava, which eventually will turn into a full bucket. Now with these, we can finally get ourselves a full, like an infinite source of water. So I'm just going to place it right here for now, just up and out the way. And now if we come in here, search for stone generator. The other resources we need is a piece of glass. So again, take our cobblestone, hammer it, we get a piece of gravel, we hammer that down, we get sand, and if we smelt the sand, we will then get the piece of glass. We have the bucket of water, we have the cobblestone. The only thing left that we're missing is the bucket of lava, in which we've got to wait for this to be done. So once this is done, I will come straight back. Okay, so now we have a full bucket of lava in here. So if you pick that up, we now have lava. And what that means is if we do 3 pieces of cobblestone on the top and the bottom, water, glass, then lava, we get ourselves a tier 1 stone block generator. And what makes it a tier 1 is that its speed modifier is 1. Now we can upgrade this. The next tier is iron. Then after that, I believe it goes to gold, then diamond, I think. So we're going to grab this barrel. I'm going to combine it with a redstone torch. Now this gives us a spruce barrel, but it's a sophisticated storage mod. So what this is this has a bunch of upgrades. So let's quickly just place down our stuff, maybe right here. So we have canvas signs there. Do there. Yeah, we'll keep them there. So we're gonna do 3 like this. And then the 1. Another 3. Boom, boom, boom. So stone block generator in the middle. We're going to need ourselves another piece of lava, apparently. That's not very good. We can take the water. We place it here. On top of that, we can place the spruce barrel. Now, in this barrel, you can see on the left-hand side, we've got this upgrade. We also have upgrades for the barrel itself. So basically, what this does is everything will be put into here as normal, but we can upgrade. So if you do /sophisticated, all these upgrades here, so we can get stack, so it'll increase how much is in a stack. So instead of 64, it might be 1,000, 4,000, 16,000, etc. There's also one called compact, so it'll turn it into a 3x3, which will get us compressed cobblestone. And auto smelting, stack downgrades. There's a bunch of different things, and from here, basic tier upgrade. We've got basic to copper, basic to iron, basic to gold, diamond, netherite, etc. And that will increase the amount of storage it actually has inside of the barrel. So with this process, it's going to automatically get us some cobblestone once we put the lava in. And all we got to do is then compress it, hammer it, bring it here, sieve it, and that's our resources. So that process shouldn't take long. And if we manage to get ourselves one of these right here, an advanced compacting upgrade compacts items into the compressed variants, both 2x2s and 3x3 recipes with more filtering options. So we can grab this and we could filter it to only make a 1 times cobblestone. So then all we got to do is just place it straight down, hit it with our compressed hammer, and boom, we have ourselves a ton of resources, which we can then throw it in here and sieve away. Whilst this cobblestone's doing, let's actually go see what's down here. I noticed this right at the beginning. So we got a ladder. It comes down into this beautiful cave where we're growing mushrooms. Shh, tell nobody. And yeah, honestly, this is a nice looking area. And I like these framed blocks. How you can just put any type of block in it. That looks really cool. This should really add them to vanilla Minecraft, because honestly, it would make building to a whole new level. Okay, the lava is done. We can now take that, throw it over here. And yeah, there we go. You can see we're now starting to generate cobblestone. So guys, honestly, we did good this episode. We made a lot of progress. As you can see, we almost completed the first page just by trying to get this cobblestone generator. Now, all that's left to do is get grinding on this sift between this episode and next, and hopefully we can come back with a lot, and I mean a lot, of good resources, such as iron, gold, possibly diamonds. Maybe? So if you guys enjoyed this episode and would like to see more of this series, show some love by hitting that like button, subscribe with bell notifications turned on, and I'll see you all in the next one.